the channel, we got another Mondo X-Men figure. This time, we got the exclusive Omega Red.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with another X-Men Mondo unboxing and review. And today, a little late to the party, pal, but we got the New York Comic-Con exclusive Omega Red from like a couple years ago. Finally getting around to unboxing this. Been lazy with my Mondo unboxings apparently, but a very cool character. Of course, me reading comic books primarily in the 1990s. Omega Red, a heck of a threat over there. A little Captain America crossover, little X-Men crossover. Just a lot of fun for a young kid reading comic books in the 90s, of course. And Omega Red, I definitely first remember from the Toy Biz action figure line way back in the early 90s. Just a very, very fun character. All these years later, now getting a Mondo release. And if I take that business step back, yes, a cool character. Yes, a villain of Wolverine especially. A bit of a deep cut as far as Mondo goes. I think at the time they were in the X-Men line, I think there was a little bit more popular, we'll call them performers, characters more like it, they probably could have came out with. But I'm not against an Omega Red. Heck, give me a Cyber. I'll take a Cyber. I'll take all of Wolverine's rogue galleries. So cool to see here, just a little bit of a head scratcher to release Omega Red so early on. But like again, I'm not against it. I'm here for it. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Omega Red doing Omega Red things on the packaging, more so than any other character, of course, because look at this. You get the little attachments. What do you call those things? I don't know what they, I guess tentacles? We could call them tentacles. But we got that on the box. I think that is a really cool thing there. You got Omega Red. Usual packaging design with the colored character against the black and white comics. X-Men logo back there. 1/6 scale, of course. Animated series 1/6 over here. On the side, same thing going on. Deluxe big box on this one as well. Everybody loves a big box, don't they? Sure they do. Sure they do. Of course, there's the background there, the comic book patterns we've seen before, a little bit of credits down low. And then on the front, oh, if I can get it, open the window box. The power of Velcro compels us. And we're going to show off Omega Red. Look at that. We got War and Peace. You can pause the video if you want to read that. And then we got Omega Red, extra heads for him as well. There's a lot going on with this Omega Red figure. But I'm going to take it out of the package here, hopefully. Uh-oh, probably better get the old knife out to cut the tape. There we go, just like so. Of course, I do keep all my packaging on my Mondo figures. I keep the box as well. Pricey figures, you got to save onto that. So a gentle see you later off to the side. But we got Omega Red, big bad and in charge. Dare I say he could even be nationwide like Billy Gibbons. But there he is in the package. I'm going to take him out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Mondo Omega Red. All right, we got Omega Red out of the package. Let's dive in. Let's start it off. Of course, as usual with Mondo, we do get the Mondo stand. You got to have a stand for these characters. You can't have a Mondo figure diving off your shelf. Absolute costly disaster if that happens, so we do get the stand right there. 2 fists of Omega Red Fury coming at you from Russia with love right out of the package there. You also got 2 big gripping hands here. You got some of that shading on the hands as well that we see with these animated series ones. So we got those going on. Then we got his tentacles, of course, over here as well. I got the short ones here, and then we got 2 long ones. Now, most probably prefer a long one, but these short ones definitely work very well if you know how to use it. You got to know what you're doing with these short ones. I wouldn't know anything about short ones. I'm usually a long one guy, but you do have these short ones here that may display a little bit better depending, of course, on your displays and your room for your displays. So we'll see what happens there, but these all have bendy wires in them, which is really nice. You wrap them around Wolverine, something like that. But you got the long one, you got the short of them. choose your own adventure as far as tentacles do go. But now that is it. Not a lot of accessories to this one here. Some of the other figures, we get multiples, hands just all over the place. Just one extra set of hands, a couple extra heads. That's really it outside of the tentacles. And sometimes less is more, and that might be the way with this Omega Red. So we're going to find out here. But we're going to look at the head sculpts first here, right out of the package. We get that very angry face there. He's been locked up in ice for a long time. I was going to say millions of years, but that's not right either. But a long time, of course. But definitely looking scary there with the red eyes. And then very, very cool with the blonde hair. You got the big samurai knot up top there looking very nice. Hair going down the front. Just a very scary, mean-looking dude. There's no way around it. And that blonde hair like a young Ivan Drago is what it looks like. Now, we do get a second head right here. And you got a nice... it's almost like he's smiling a little bit on this one here, but he's showing his teeth, and he's showing that, you know what, over in Russia, we brush our teeth every single day. Nice white teeth on him there. You got shading on all these hairs here, of course, all the hair. Same hairdo on all these guys. It does look to be the case there. Then the third and final head, you got the Omega headband as well. Can't forget that, a prime one for Omega Red. This one, the mouth's open, he's screaming, he's yelling. He's ready to fight everybody. He's ready to kill anybody if he has to. So three pretty good head sculpts here. You got totally stoic, the mouth a little bit, and then the crazy mad version here. As usual, we always say it, choose your own head adventure on this one here. So very cool. I'm either going to go stoic or totally mad. There's no middle of the road for me. I'm all in one way or the other. But now we get Omega Red out of the package. The first thing I noticed grabbing this guy, he is a greasy mess. A mess. Up and down his legs, you can see the grease there. It almost looks like I spilled something on him. You can even feel it right there. So a little of that plastic. I don't think it's the plastic deteriorating. I think it's just some of the joint stuff sweating out of it, I guess. And not sure exactly, but I'm going to have to give this guy a little bit of a wipe down because he is extremely greasy, especially on his right leg. Once again, your mileage may vary, but these Mondo figures have been very touch and go. I've never had issues with Mondo figures, but man, the last couple of months, it's been really rough on some of these ones. If you checked out the Spider-Man unboxing, of course, the Cyclops unboxings, even the Sky Sled, I just, for one time there, I just didn't feel like the perceived value was actually there what I got. So Mondo, I don't know if they're putting too much stuff out at once. Not sure exactly what's going on. But this one was from years back, so it is okay as of right now. A little extra plastic grease, or whatever you want to call it, but besides that, everything firing okay from right here. But diving into the body on this one, big shoulder guards there. You do got the shading throughout the coloring. Some people like it, some people don't mind it, I guess. I'm kind of in the don't mind it. I don't prefer it, but it doesn't end the world for me. We have seen the X-Men line since this one's came out where they've released regular editions and animated versions. There's no way I'm doubling up club on any of these. So I've been passing on the secondary ones. I've been just sticking to the shading because that's what I started with. Once again, you may be doing something different there. Now you got the big forearm guards here on the side. Now you do got the spot on the arms here where you can plug in the tentacles too. So you can leave them unplugged or you can plug them in. Very cool that you can do that. I like the feature here to go long or short depending what you want to do and how you're going to display it. Looks very good. Big white belt there, red bodysuit throughout, big knee pads on him, got the red boots, and then the shading continues throughout the body. Big forearm guards there. You got the Omega symbol there on the hands as well. Two fists of fury. We talked about the gripping hands over here. Now articulation, arm does go around. However, you do get in the way up here on the shoulder. So you can get around those, but I would worry about stretching out the plastic here. If you have him in a dynamic pose, could stretch out the plastic on that one. So make note of that. Head, you get a little bit of back and forth, side to side, but really nothing to write home about, especially with that hair with all the different angles and points. Pretty much blocks the articulation. And as we always say with these Mondo figures, they walk the line between statue and action figure, as we do know. And this one feels a little bit more statue maybe than some others. You do get waist articulation on him here. Now the legs a little bit loose, a little bit froggy out of the package. You see that wobble right there? It's like picking a frog up out of the pond. Had to do it for science back in the day. Of course, science class, we had to get frogs and crayfish and all that stuff. We had to bring them into class. I don't think kids do that anymore, but I remember picking some up, and when you pick those frogs up out of the water, their legs would be like that. So a little loose over here. Not a fan of that at all, especially for these high price point figures. They shouldn't be loose out of the packaging, and that right leg is very, very loose for me here, which honestly a little disappointing on that. Double jointed knees, but you can see right there, very tight as usual. Probably a good idea to heat these guys up. That's usually what they do with Mondos, and we say as well. legs back and forth, or I should say ankle back and forth, up and down, side to side. Pretty smooth as far as that does go there. I got the hula hoop we talked about. Now the arms are interesting here. You do get the side-to-side articulation on this, so we usually don't get that. So I guess that has a lot to do with the tentacles coming out, so you get the side-to-side, and then you do get the elbow. There it is. Very, very tight there. I probably shouldn't have forced that one, but luckily I came away unscathed, unlike Wolverine fighting with Omega Red. Single jointed elbow on that one right there. And then, of course, hands back and forth, side to side. Hands removable on him right here. So Omega Red, a big, big boy. I don't know what took me so long to unbox it, but here we are, finally getting it done here on the channel today. Very cool. Speaks to my 90s Wolverine reading. Of course, I even got a t-shirt with Omega Red on it. So big fan of Omega Red over the years. We've had some good Marvel Legends as well. Very cool to get him on my Mondo shelf. Just got to decide what kind of tentacles I want to. And, of course, a little bit of quality issues, but nothing like that Spider-Man one and some of the other ones. So not a bad figure, all things considered. Just really comes down to how big of an Omega Red fan are you at the end of the day. That's something I guess you got to ask yourself. But I do got another villain. We got Sabretooth. We unboxed him back in the day on the channel as well. Another big beefy boy for Logan to take on. And speaking of Logan, he heard his name. He wants to get in on this mix as well. We got Wolverine. So you can see Wolverine, a little guy anyways, even smaller against these two bad guys. So very cool to get these guys. If they're going to keep going down the Wolverine rabbit hole, I'd love to see Cyber, but I think we're getting more X-Men animated series, guys. I got to think like the morphs of the world will be in the future for us. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Give me a Bishop. That's what I'd like to see, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll get to them all eventually. You know how it is. Money talks, and they're going to pump them out as long as people are buying them. And I am for sure buying them. I'm all in on the X-Men. I'm all in on the He-Man. Going to dabble outside of that, but looking pretty good here with Omega Red. What are your thoughts, though? You pick up this Omega Red. This is something you want to add to your collection. Let me know your thoughts on this one. And if you do actually have this one, let me know. Did you have the plastic going on here or the really greasy plastic? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel and my other YouTube channel. 2 channels with content every single day. Appreciate all the support over there. Patreon, early access to these videos. You get a heck of a jump start on everybody else if you're a Patreon member. It also helps support this YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget Sir Paul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and now on TikTok. So for Mr. Omega Red, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.